Howdy friends, I'm Metta here. Just wanted to make a quick little video actually, inspired by a friend of mine, Noah, and had a video about dysphoria. And my friend Noah has changed genders from female to male. And he's a really great person, and I just wanted to make this little video not directly, specifically to him, but touching on a few of the things he was talking about, and also some of the reasons why we might have depression, and some of the reasons why we definitely have depression and dysphoria, which I guess is sort of similar thing, same thing. So depression is something that arises as a concept in the mind, that I'm depressed. It's a feeling, a general sense of not feeling okay with yourself, not feeling okay with the world. And it arises because we're identifying with our thinking process. And in this particular situation with my friend Noah, it's a hard thing. I would assume, switching genders and that whole conflict in the mind of, who am I? And the thing I want to suggest is it doesn't matter so much what the thoughts are, that the thinking is saying, I don't know if I'm a man or I'm a woman, or I don't know if I'm good enough, or if I'm worthy, or any of these things that the mind might think. The only thing that's worth noting on the deeper level, if we want to have lasting happiness, is that the mind is thinking, that thoughts are occurring, and that I'm not really in control of them. Because if you stop for a little bit and meditate and try to focus on one thing, you'll find the thoughts, the mind just goes around and just tries to grab onto many things and to hold tightly onto one thing, and then it thinks about another thing, and every time you bring it back, it goes out again, and so it's always trying to create an identity by attaching to concepts and ideas and beliefs. And so all these thoughts, even, I don't know who I am, I just wanted to point you to the fact that there's something that is beyond your personal identity, that's beyond being a man or a woman, or being transgender, or being depressed, or having dysphoria, or even being happy. And that can be found, and you can connect with this something that transcends the mind. And that's why I meditate personally. I'm not saying that you should do it or you have to. Definitely would be helpful. And anybody who has depression, mindfulness and meditation are two of the greatest tools you could possibly utilize to free yourself from this state. And just know that depression is not something that's created in the brain. It's created in the mind. And what happens is our thinking processes affect the development and the output of the brain. So if we think, you'll discover this once you start watching your thoughts. If we think a certain thought, that thought will have a certain shelf life, I guess, and it'll go bad after a while. It'll disappear. But what happens is when you think of it, it causes karma, and it's short-term karma. But it's like every thought is like a domino, and unless we stop and put our hand in front of the domino and say, no, I see you, and I don't need to be owned by you, and just see it as just a thought and not an entity, and it's just thinking. Oh, my mind is thinking again. Oh, this depression pattern has come up again. This dysphoria pattern has come up again. There it is. there is this pattern, and realize it's a pattern. It's a particular kind of habit that we've formed from thinking the same thing again and again. And the one thought informs the next thought, and it forms the next thought, and forms the next thought. And it's a chain reaction that occurs in the brain, because that's the brain work. The way the brain works is through neurosynaptic connections. And so they say neurons that fire together wire together. So if we continually have certain types of thoughts, our neurons will wire together and be more likely to have those kind of thoughts and behaviors in the future. So what meditation and mindfulness does is, by seeing things clearly, let's talk about mindfulness quickly. By seeing things clearly, what happens is we interrupt those neurosynaptic connections and start to let them break apart and form more healthy connections, connections that are seeing reality as it is. So if you think, I'm depressed, you just see it as, okay, it's a thought. It's a thought saying, I am depressed. And because I can see it, because I can witness it, it's not myself, it's not me. And now that I've witnessed it, it's gone, and that means it's impermanent. And it was filled with suffering when I held on to it. And so that's dukkha. So we have all the three major tenets and the realizations that we need to discover to become enlightened: anicca, anatta, and dukkha. And this is taught by the Buddha. Anicca is impermanence. So the thought has already gone. I've interrupted it by witnessing it and observing it. Anatta, it's not me, because I can see it, and if I can see it, it's not me. If you can, you don't think your hand is you. You can hold your hand out and you say, well, that's my hand. It's not me, it's my hand. And the thoughts are just the same way. They're not me. They're my thoughts. They're thoughts that I participated and I was choosing, so long as I was unable to witness them. And when we witness them, we lose that sense of self in them, and then we discover freedom. And then dukkha is dissatisfactoriness. This is, in life, there is this dissatisfactoriness, and that occurs because of craving and clinging and wanting things to be other than what they are, and not being in a state of complete acceptance of what is. And so if we can accept ourselves, we'll be more likely to be happy. So really this is like radical acceptance, is I think Tara Brach teaches this, I believe. And so it's really about accepting yourself, accepting your thoughts. Oh, it was just a thought. It's not personal. Another thought's going to arise. This one's going to be gone. And maybe this thought will arise again. But I don't have to create a self out of it and create an identity. And I can be free from it. And this is the key to freeing yourself from depression. It's not, thinking, oh, I have brain chemical imbalance. That might be true, but you can change the brain. The brain is plastic, and the way the brain expresses itself, and the way the brain expresses its chemical display throughout the body and expression throughout the body can change by our thinking. And the proof of that is with the placebo effect. You take a sugar pill and you believe it's medicine, and it works. So we have a lot of power. We have a lot of control. We're not out of control. All we have to do is reclaim it. And the way we do that is through mindfulness and choosing to see things how they are. And you do that through curiosity. Being curious about your thinking. I wonder why that thought has come again. And it has come again. And not judging it, saying it's bad that it's come again. It's just arisen again. And I wonder why that happened. And having a little bit of curiosity instead of self-judgment, saying, I'm so bad for having these thoughts. I have a friend that, I'm not going to say the name, is homosexual. He wasn't sure of who he was for most of his life, and this really tormented him. And he said, you know, I don't know who I am, and I'm ashamed of who I am. And so I said, just accept yourself. You know, you are a man, and you have the preference to be with men. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. So the biggest thing we need to do to end depression is stop the self-judgment and start to learn how to be mindful and learn how to meditate if you wish. Even if you don't want to meditate, you can practice mindfulness. Meditation will just make your mindfulness stronger, and vice versa. They support each other. So I have some videos on my page, on my YouTube channel, if you want to learn how to meditate. And please post your comments below, and I'm happy to help if this has helped anybody. And if you have any more questions, let me know, and I can even make further videos. And I just want to help because I've been depressed in my past, and I know I've been very judgmental of myself and others in the past, and I want to help others free themselves from suffering. And so thanks very much for watching, and may you be free from suffering. Peace. Love you.